Hi, welcome to the Dartarian Show. I'm Alexander Dartarian.
And I'm Dominic Sykes.
And we are going to be doing Urban Legends South Carolina.
Awesome. We always love our Urban Legends episodes.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is one of the 13 original colonies of America.
Mm-hmm.
So I expect these urban legends to go all the way back to probably pre-colonial times.
Sweet.
So there's a lot of history in the state, and I don't know about you, but I'm personally excited to see if we have any urban legends that pertain to any pirates, because Charleston was a huge port for pirates, and also lead into our next episode, the Pirate King. So I'm excited about that. All right, let's get into these urban legends. The Lizard Man. Described as being taller than the average man, the lizard man is said to be a muscular, covered with dark hair and scaly lizard skin on its face, hands, and feet.
Why would he need hair and skin?
I don't know. To me, it's this lizard man is like a reptilian. You know those aliens, reptilians?
Yeah.
So that's what I guess. It is said that he has 3 fingers on each hand and 3 toes on each foot. The strength of the beast has been reported to be more than enough to rip a car to shreds. There have been quite a few reported sightings of this creature around South Carolina. The first such sighting was reported on June 29th, 1988 by Christopher Davis. His report is as follows. I looked back and saw something running across the field towards me. It was about 25 yards away, and I saw the red eyes glowing. I ran into the car and locked it. The thing grabbed the door handle. As I locked the car, the thing grabbed the door handle. I could see him from the neck down. The 3 big fingers looked long black nails and green rough skin. It was strong and angry. I looked in my mirror and saw a blur of green running. I could see his toes. Then he jumped on the roof of my car. I thought I heard a grunt, and then I could see his fingers through the front windshield, where they curled around the roof. I sped up and swerved to shake off the creature off. So, like, he took off as soon as he got in the car. He was like, fuck this shit. Going, and it sped off after him. Other reports have been made as well, including the mauling of cars that have been documented as looking as though they had been chewed up by something.
Probably bear.
My thing with South Carolina, alligator. There's a lot of alligators in South Carolina. I don't know how you would see fur on him, but like I don't know, like maybe moss. I have no idea. Like
moss, maybe. Yeah.
No offense to Christopher Davis, but like. He might have been smoking something.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that was the Lizard Man. Like I said, I think it's alligators.
Yeah.
Dude was probably high on something and saw an alligator. And because because their eyes glow red when you shine a light on them.
I think it's green.
Is it green?
Mm-hmm.
Is it green?
Pretty sure it's green.
No. Green is frogs. Red is because that's how you spot gators.
Is it?
Don't quote me on that. I don't know.
I don't know. We might be getting it mixed up.
Yeah.
Let's ask Duck Dynasty. Those guys know.
Yeah. The next urban legend is Crybaby Bridge. Everyone knows the legend of Crybaby Bridge. Some know the one in Anderson, which by far is the most famous one in South Carolina. And many know of another one. In fact, there are quite a few in South Carolina and nationwide. So we've heard of Crybaby Bridges in other states as well. The one I will discuss is the one in Anderson, South Carolina. This particular bridge has quite a history. It was originally built in Virginia, 1919, brought to Charleston, and then in 1952 was moved to Anderson. So this bridge has been around.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to have some history to it. There are a few different ways this story goes, but the most popular is that there was an accident one late night. A mother lost her baby to the flow of the river. It is said that if you go on this bridge late at night, you can hear the crying of a baby. And if you were lucky, you may even see the mother walking up and down the bridge searching for the child she lost so long ago. So,
Woman in white.
Yeah, woman in white, La Llorona.
Yeah.
But it's a little bit different if you think about it, because maybe the baby was lost in Virginia or Charleston, and now no wonder she can't find the baby. But I guess you wouldn't hear the crying then.
Yeah, probably not.
Just a very, very sad urban legend.
Yeah.
Again, like there's a lot of the urban legends that are just sad. The next urban legend is the Third Eye Man. What is lurking in the catacombs beneath the University of South Carolina? He was first seen in 1949 by 2 USC students. A man all dressed in silver was seen opening a manhole and disappearing into the underground. One of the students was a newspaper reporter and wrote about his experience. 6 months later, a police officer was making his rounds around the campus when he came upon some mutilated chickens. He went to his car to report the incident, and on his return, he reportedly saw a strange figure all dressed in silver. The policeman reported that when the man turned, he saw an odd-colored face, and in the middle of his forehead was a third eye. The policeman ran from the scene to request backup, but when backup arrived, there was no Third Eye Man to be seen. However, it didn't stop the policeman from telling that tale for the rest of his life. The next time the Third Eye Man was seen was in the late 60s. There are catacombs or tunnels beneath the university, and a few fraternity guys thought it would be a great place to take their pledges. Upon rounding the first corner, they report that they saw a crippled old man all dressed in silver. He swung at them with a pipe and knocked one of them down.
Oh, damn.
The young man suffered minor scrapes and bruises along with shock, but nothing life-threatening. A manhunt was started that night, but nothing and no one was ever found. The entrance to the tunnels have since been sealed, and so far there have been no other reported sightings of the Third Eye Man. It was probably a homeless man.
I was going to say, there's probably some homeless guy with a birth defect.
Yeah, I know. Like, what the hell?
They sealed the exit. He probably died down there. That's messed up.
Well, interesting. I didn't know there was catacombs underneath the University of South Carolina.
I didn't either, yeah.
So that's weird. I mean, it might not be anymore because it's sealed off, so it probably could have never existed, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he was probably just a homeless man or a, what are they, I guess like a circus? I don't want to call them circus freaks, but like, I guess mutated people that, no, there's no nice way to say this, but I think he just probably had a birth defect and escaped because the people are mean.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Like I said, I didn't want to say circus freaks.
Circus freaks. I think it's like you can just call them performers or
circus performers of mutated persuasion. I don't know. I don't know. All right. Is there a PC way to describe?
I don't know. We'll have to, maybe there's some listeners that have family that were circus performers and can let us know what the proper term is.
I don't know. I love the B.T. Barnum's thing, though. I'm sure like he did exploit those people. But
yeah.
All right. The next one is the Boo Hag.
Boo Hag?
Yeah. Boo Hag.
Okay.
According to Gala legend, there is a creature that rides the night looking for someone that they think are good candidates to steal energy from. No, this is not a vampire before you start accusing of it psychic vampires and stuff. This is a creature that reportedly gains energy from a human's breath by riding their victims. Like, they ride them.
Their breath?
Yeah. Yep. Their breath.
Why?
It is said that they have no skin, which makes them red in appearance. In order for them to be less noticeable, they will steal a victim's skin and use it for as long as possible. When they find someone that they wish to use, they will remove their skin. Well,
How do they ride somebody then? Do they just sit on their shoulders, piggyback style, or what?
No. Then they get on top of the victim's chest.
Oh my God!
Hold the face close to the person and inhale the person's energy from their breath. It is said that this will induce deep sleep in the human, and they may awake tired. If, however, they fight the Boo Hag will take their skin to use. If you ever wonder how to keep one out of your bed, put a broom beside the bed before you lay down for the night. The boo hag will become so obsessed with counting the straws in the broom that they will not have time to take your energy before the sun comes up. So, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I can't steal your breath tonight. There's these awesome broom bristles I've got to count.
Yeah, I mean, it's weird.
One broom bristle, 2 broom bristles.
So, yeah. So, if you're in South Carolina and you wake up tired and fatigued, it's because the boo hag stole your breath.
Oh, man.
And energy.
That's interesting. That's definitely an interesting one.
Yeah. So, if you're in South Carolina, just put a broom beside your bed. It has to be a straw broom now. Can't be like one of those modern brooms.
No, yeah.
The more straws, the better.
Yeah.
The ghost hound of Gaston. On a desolate stretch of road known as Buncombe, between Newberry and Union counties, there dwells a terrifying beast known to many as the Hound of Gaston. The stories go as far back as the 1850s, when a young slave boy saw him for the first time while going to get a doctor. It is said to be an overly large dog and white in color. Mm-hmm. Some say that if you are to happen upon this dog, that a death is sure to follow. Not your death, just the death. Some say that the dog has red eyes.
This is like that, oh man, what do they call it? That death omen in Harry Potter.
The black dog?
Yeah, the black dog, but they call it something. Grim.
Yeah. Some say that the dog has red eyes. The last time this dog was seen was in 1998, but there is no information on the encounter. As far as anyone knows, this dog has not bitten or otherwise attacked anyone to date. Mm-hmm. But if you go down the stretch of road, I would take some friends with you. I don't think that I would chance an encounter with the House of Gaston, would you?
I mean, yeah, because it doesn't really seem like it's messing with anybody.
No, but it predicts a death. But
it just predicts one. It doesn't cause it. So basically, bringing other people with you isn't going to make a difference. It's just.
Well, I'm assuming that the young slave boy who decided to see him for the first time, going to get a doctor, the person, whoever he was getting a doctor for, probably died.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, and I mean, it's probably just a coincidence.
Yeah.
They just happen to see a black dog, kind of like black cat type deal.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, it's always a grim sight to see a death omen, so they're never fun. Unless you don't like the person that the death omen's supposed to be. So it could be fun, I guess, if you enjoy killing them.
Yeah.
The Legend of Julia Lagarre. Lagarre? I don't know. Anyways, they know who they are. Picture it. Andisto Island, mid-1800s. The story has been told time and time again. I'm sure that you may have even heard this one. Julia Lagarre came to visit family. It is said that she became terribly ill with a fever and eventually slipped into a coma. Her family called the doctor, whom pronounced her as dead. Much to their dismay and sorrow of her family, they interred her to her family mausoleum. Life went on, and 15 years later, they had to open the mausoleum to replace another member that they had member in. When they found that Julia's skeleton was at the door instead of laid to rest where they had left her, it seems that she had not been dead at all.
Oh, no!
But in a coma so deep that the physician could not detect her heartbeat or her breathing. They put the girl's remains back where they were supposed to be and sealed and locked the door once again. But that is not where the story ends. It seems that the door will never be shut. No matter how many times they have locked it, it has been opened.
Ooh.
They say that now that there is no door, her spirit can rest because she knows that no one else will be locked in the mausoleum.
Oh, man, that's a cool one, though.
Yeah, and that just gave me chills a little bit.
Yeah, that sucks so bad, though, because that actually happens.
Yeah, not so much anymore.
No, not anymore, but it did. That's why they would tie bells to the corpse's toes to make sure that,
Yeah, absolutely. And that's also where the legend of the vampires came. Also, you'll find bodies that have been resumed or not resumed, stupid. Exhumed, with like nails in their foreheads and stuff, just to make sure that they're dead.
Deterrent.
Yeah.
Even the Greeks did it with they would make iron
cages.
Cages.
Yeah,
that they
same
would put over
thing.
the
Same
top of
thing with the
graves.
English and stuff. But it wasn't. Actually, the iron cages that they put over it was not for them to raise from the dead.
Stop for grave robbers.
Yeah, it stopped the grave robbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were mostly buried with all the possessions,
Right.
and stuff. So, the haunted Baynard Crypt. The story goes that the way many do in South Carolina, it is a love story, or a story of love, loss, and ghostly happy endings. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
William Baynard built a magnificent home on the highest point of Hilton Head for his bride-to-be. On the night of their wedding, as they were dancing, he noticed that she was sweating and feverish. He took her by the hand to usher her to a chair, but she collapsed before ever getting there. When the doctor arrived, he told William that she had contracted a deadly fever. That night, William sat beside her as she drew her final breath. As with other devoted husbands, William built an elaborate place of rest for his dead bride and laid her to rest. But that is not the end of the tale. When the Civil War broke out, grave robbers tried valiantly to get into this beautiful mausoleum, thinking that there were treasures galore.
Yeah.
However, the only thing they found was their own demise. No one would be able to get into the mausoleum without meeting their own death. Many years later, it is said that a group of teenagers, being as teenagers are known to be, were going to try their hand at opening the mausoleum. But as they approached it, they saw an elderly couple sitting on the bench that sat in front of it, and as they got closer, the couple disappeared. So
He kind of was with her in death type deal.
yeah. When it comes to the Civil War thing, a lot of diseases, there's some fevers and some diseases or viruses that stay with people after they die, and they could have just caught it.
Yeah.
The plague is one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the ghost treasure of Folly Island.
Ooh.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a good buried treasure story?
Me. I love a good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't dream of finding it? I know I do. I love, God, can you imagine?
Yeah, until you find out that pirates didn't bury their treasure.
Yeah. So,
everything's ruined now. All of my childhood dreams are crushed.
So the story goes that when the Civil War broke out, a young soldier was told to gather all the people and bring them in off Folly Island. When he got to a particular rundown shack, he found an elderly black woman and a child living there. She didn't want any part of leaving her home, and told the soldier of the time she has lived in her house. Wow. She told him of pirates who had come ashore to bury 6 chests of gold, silver, and jewels. She even showed him the 2 oaks that the treasure was buried between. She also told him that when they had gotten all of the treasure inside the hole, that the captain buried a knife in one of his crew and threw him in upon the treasure itself. The soldier, being curious, wanted to make sure that he was sure of the location, but the old woman told him to leave the treasure alone, that there was a pirate watching that treasure, whether he was dead or not.
Why tell him about it then? Anybody in their right mind is going to want to immediately go and verify this. If you don't want them to mess with it, why tell them about it?
I don't know. Maybe it was just came up a conversation.
I know, it's just a story or whatever. It's just that stuff like that always gets under my skin.
Later that night, the soldier and a friend went to find the treasure, and the more they dug, the higher the winds came and the closer the lightning got, until it became so bright that before them stood the silhouetted figure of a pirate. Needless to say, the treasure remained buried, and the story would have too, but for the soldier who told it at a reunion, and another man just happened to put it in print.
Uh-oh.
So
now everybody's going to be going looking for this ghost pirate and buried treasure.
I guess. All right. As you know, Bigfoot is a big part of modern culture.
Yeah,
popular
sure.
culture and stuff. He's been literally sighted everywhere.
Yeah.
Well, does he live in the swamps and forests of South Carolina?
Well, we've talked about the skunk ape. Maybe it's the skunk ape.
Yeah.
Of Florida. He just migrated to South Carolina.
You
You remember?
There is more than 80,000 acres of land that is claimed by the government that goes untouched by human hand.
Right.
Described as a huge hare ape-like creature, many people of South Carolina have claimed to have seen this beast, and many more have said that they have heard his cries. January 15, 2015, the Finding Bigfoot researchers came to Aiken, South Carolina to seek proof that in that meeting 15 people from all over South Carolina stood up to tell their tales of the strange beast. Is he out there? Will we ever find him, and do we ever want to? So do you think we should find him or anything?
No, I think leave him the hell alone.
Yeah.
Why mess with him? I mean,
so 15 different people all around South Carolina
had collaborated with stories on this thing. I can get behind there being Bigfoot type creatures, but it's going to be harder and harder to hide, as we expand and stuff, because we continuously are expanding, and there's less and less wild places out there in the world. So I'm sure that if there are any Bigfoots or whatever, they won't be around for much longer.
All right. The Gray Man.
Yeah.
The story of the Gray Man starts in the 1820s. The legend goes that he's a cloaked figure who wanders the beaches ahead of major storms. One woman claims she saw the ghost in 1954, right before Hurricane Hazel. Another rumored sighting was before Hurricane Hugo in 1989, and then 2018's Hurricane Florence. Like most ghosts, the Gray Man's story is one of young love lost. The man is rumored to have been traveling from Charleston to propose when his horse got stuck in the mud. He was thrown off and trapped and dragged under. Heartbroken, the woman would walk along the beach. One day, she saw her late beau, and dressed in all black, who warned her that a serious storm was coming, and then vanished. As the story goes, a hurricane made landfall, and her home was the only one still standing. He's a friendly ghost, and if you're lucky enough to spot him, your home might be untouched by the next storm. So whoever sees him, their house still stands after the hurricane. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
The Catawba River Runner. This monster lives in the river, which also becomes the Wateree and the Conagry rivers. Rumor has it that 3 middle school students were on a Camp Cannon Island when they saw the monster and its baby. It could have been a snake or an alligator.
Yeah.
But I mean, they describe the monster as alligator snake like.
Right.
Thunderbird. The tales of the Thunderbird originate from Santee. The powerful bird looks like a pterosaur and supposedly appeared in 2004 in Myrtle Beach. 5 years later, it has reported to appear in Pickens.
Can you imagine you be sitting there on Myrtle Beach and this giant pterodactyl just flies overhead? You're going to be like, Bob, you are not going to believe this. This pterodactyl just flew, right? And, of course, nobody's actually going to believe it or whatever. But just being on Myrtle Beach in 2015 and have this giant-ass dinosaur flying over the top and just
knowing... 2004.
Oh, sorry, 2004. And knowing that nobody's going to believe you.
Yeah, I know.
That would suck so bad because you're like, I'm looking at this thing right now. I can see it. Nobody's going to believe this.
Well, speaking of things in the sky, one of the main things seen in South Carolina are UFOs.
Yeah, for sure.
Horry County is among the top places for UFO sites per capita. According to 2020 data, Surfside Beach ranked 3rd on the list with 671.44 sightings per 100,000 people. Myrtle Beach was 6th at 507.26 sightings per 100,000 people. And North Myrtle Beach was 9th at 380.14 sightings per 100,000 people, according to True People Search Insights. So UFOs are like South Carolina is one of
the most
prominent sightings of UFOs.
Places.
So do you think it could be a star, a drone, or visitors from the other world? I don't believe in UFOs. I really don't.
I do. I just don't think that,
I don't think they're aliens. If they are something, I don't think they're aliens. I think
they're from Hollow Earth.
Yeah. No.
Remember talking about that being a possibility, but no, UFOs are hard for me because, like with everything else, I believe that it's possible, but until I see it for sure, it's going to be hard for me to, I said, I'm a contradictory person. Like, I'm not a skeptic, but I'm pretty skeptical at the start of everything until, But no, I can still believe it.
Yeah. All right. I have one more. The Legend of Lavinia Fisher, America's first female serial killer.
Oh.
Yeah, we love serial killers at Dark
And her name's Fisher?
Yep, Lavinia Fisher.
Oh.
According to legend, Lavinia Fisher was the first female serial killer in America. She and her husband, John, ran the 6 Mile House, a place for weary travelers to rest north of Charleston.
I bet that would be convenient for her.
Yeah. Lavinia would serve poisoned tea to her victims, who were usually wealthy men. Most women are. Yeah. I think Eileen Warnos and a couple other have an exception. Then tuck them into a specific bed. A bed with a trap door beneath. With a pull of the lever, the body would fall into a pit beneath the house, where John would then rob their corpse.
Wow.
One night, a man named John Peoples stopped over. After being invited to tea, he discreetly dumped the tea into a nearby plant because he didn't enjoy the tea, but was too polite to refuse, finding Lavinia and her husband creepy. John claimed he was tired and went to bed. While he sat in the chair by the door, he watched his bed collapse into a pit below the house. In terror, he leaped out the window and ran straight to Charleston, where he reported everything to the police. They are said to have found all of the bodies of Lavinia Fisher's victims upon investigating. The Fishers were executed in 1820, and according to local legend, her spirit haunts the Charleston's jail, where she was hanged.
So is the spirit is that the urban legend, or is it like all of that was true?
All of that was true.
So the urban legend, the serial killer, and the way that they killed and with the bodies and all that was real.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Actually, I do have a few more, if you don't mind.
That's fine.
Okay. The headless sentry. During the American Revolution, a sentry for the British, who was expecting returning soldiers, was instead greeted by colonists led by General Francis Marion, famously known as the Swamp Fox.
Swamp Fox.
Yep. At a plantation outside Charleston. His head was cut off and his body staggering around before crumpling to the ground in a pool of blood. It is said that to this day, his headless ghost stalks the ground of the former plantation. He is dressed as a British dragoon and leaves a trail of blood behind him. According to local lore, he is still searching for his head, even though the plantation where he died is now a site of a golf course and restaurant. All right.
All I can see in my head is just somebody trying to play golf, and this head rolls up instead of, you hit that instead of the ball, and you see this headless dude just running after it,
Yeah. The Ravenial Lights. It is a mythical happening. Eerie and otherworldly lights appear on train tracks in the town of Ravenel, South Carolina. To see the lights, curious souls go to the old Baptist church near Ravenel in the dead of a moonless night and knock on the door 3 times. Then they must travel parallel to the tracks behind the church's graveyard. If you've done all this correctly, they'll see the famous lights as they approach a bend in the tracks. The flashing lights come with a strong wind, and some who have experienced them also report having been pelted by invisible objects. Even more eerily, those who have investigated the lights from inside their cars have found hand-shaped dents on their doors and roofs.
That's weird.
Yeah, that is definitely weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really know how to explain.
I don't know either. Maybe just
people
mess
do it now, though.
Yeah, I do too.
Just test it.
So that is all of the urban legends that we found interesting. If you guys want to, you can go check out some more. There's numerous ones that are out there. Again, we want to do all 50 states and then countries around the world. But I also wanted to start doing something with these states. I want to do the most famous unsolved murder for each state.
Oh, okay.
So, again, it won't be urban legends and then a state. It will be unsolved murders in a state.
Yeah.
So that's what I want to start doing in season 5.
Okay.
Yeah, season 5, I want to start doing that. And I just think there's so much potential for all of these states. Like, obviously, we're American, so we think America's great. Obviously, the rest of the world,
sometimes,
yeah, sometimes we do see our folly and really you know, some of the stuff we do, and especially in our history, we don't agree with and we abhor. So, but I find true crime fascinating. I don't know if you do.
It's sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just depends on my mood.
Yeah, but I do. So, and I'm like, yes, we're going to do it. Anyways, urban legends, we will not stop doing urban legends. I love urban legends myself.
Yeah.
Even though most of them I find bullshit.
It's always funny to see.
Yeah, but I do like the stories. I do like the history. And I think that when people come up with these stories, I find it fascinating because, like, well, you had a really good imagination. You know?
I know you had a terrifying experience, but I think you're full of shit, and it's nice that you have a good imagination, though.
Yeah. I guess that's the nice way to just like, you're crazy, but you have good imagination.
Yeah.
But yeah. So those were Urban Legends South Carolina. We hope you enjoyed them as much as we enjoyed looking into them, and definitely be careful if you're in South Carolina of the boo hags and stuff.
Boo hags, yeah.
That's really, I haven't really came across any of those in any other states we've done.
No.
Boo hags, maybe the creepypasta The Rake, I guess, would be
the closest.
Yeah,
maybe.
the closest.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, boo hags. Who would have thought?
I don't know.
But we did have the pirate. Like I said, the next episode is the Pirate King, so we're super excited to get to that episode. It's awesome. But if you guys have any suggestions on urban legends, just follow that link below in the description of this episode. Email us, or if you want to just not go to that link below and go to just email us at thedartarianshow@gmail.com. You can. You'll also find all of our social media at that link below. And we enjoy talking to you guys and going through these urban legends, talking about them. And we'll see you next episode for the Pirate King.
Pirate King.
Yeah. And also we'll see you next week for the 1-year anniversary episode. We're super excited about that. And yeah, thank you guys for listening.
Thanks for listening.